Hello, good morning everyone. Sino ba? Okay na. So we're on our next topic for today, the derivatives, featuring differentiation of algebraic functions, higher order derivatives, and implicit differentiation. So buckle up because we have a lot of problems to be solved today. Okay? Okay, so let's start from differentiation of algebraic functions. So these are the following formulas will is actually derived using the delta method. However, we will left this to you for you to derive on your own. Okay? So let's start with the basic differentiation formulas. So let's see. Let's see be any number or any real number so that is constant. Then u, v, and w are functions of x. So that is so it could be u is equals to f of x, v g of x, and w h of x. So let's have first our derivative of constant. If you can remember, on our last discussion, we derived the derivative of constant, di ba? Using our delta method. So we found out that the derivative of constant, or d over dx of c, is equals to 0. Okay? Then we also derive the derivative of x. That is the derivative of x equals to, that is dx over dx equals to 1. Then now we will move on to the derivative of sum. So take note of these formulas because it is very easy for you. It is very ano ba? It's very recommended for you to memorize these formulas. Okay, especially the basic ones. So let's move on to the derivative of sum. So we write this one as d of dx, then the sum u plus v. So this is equal to, we just distribute, then this will be d over dx of u plus d over dx of v. So ganun, distributive lang siya. So this could be read as the derivative of sum is equal to the sum of the derivative of each term. So then let's move on to the derivative of product. So in case you will ask what is the derivative of difference, di ba? So kung minus nga da, malamang sa malamang minus gihapon. So just copy the sign. So basically this is derivative of sum and the difference. So kung plus, hiya plus. Kung minus, minus. Okay? Then derivative of product. derivative of the product is equal to the first factor times the derivative of the second factor plus, so it should be written as the first factor times the derivative of the second factor plus the second factor times the derivative of the first factor. So that is u dv over dx plus v du over dx. Du. Yun. So what if our first factor is a constant? So it should be written as CV. So this will be, since, di ba, this, since this is the first factor, if this is constant, this will automatically be C times dv over dx. But for the second, di ba, v, this will be v, then our c is the derivative of the constant. However, the derivative of the constant is 0, so this will be cancelled, tama? So this will came up with c d, yun. So this will be read as the derivative of the product with a constant factor is equal to the constant times the derivative of the second factor. Ganun lang. So we can also have three variables. So like d over dx of u v w. So this will be solved by the formula the first factor times the derivative of the two factors times the derivative of the third factor plus the first and the third factor times the derivative of the second factor plus the second and third factor times the derivative of the first factor. Sorry. Okay. Let's now proceed to the derivative of quotient. So that is d over dx of u over v. So our numerator is u, our denominator is v. So this will be solved by the derivative. Let's have the factor line first. The derivative, the denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator over the square of the denominator. So that's it. How about if the numerator is a constant? So this will be, so what will happen if the numerator is a constant? So since this is the numerator, so in the numerator. So stay as is, di ba? If this is the numerator, so this will be this will be the numerator. So this will become 0. So what will happen? So cancelled in ang masasalin is adinala is 1. So this will be okay. So that is the the derivative of a quotient with the constant numerator is equal to the negative of the constant times the derivative of the denominator over the square of the denominator. Okay, so you can actually have your mnemonics with these formulas for you to easily memorize these formulas, okay? So it's up to you to make your mnemonics. So kung whatever you're comfortable with, you can go with it. Okay, so let's proceed to the general power formula. So I will write lang. Next is the general power formula. That is the derivative of u raised to a number. That is equal to the number multiplied by by the exponent times the base raised to the exponent minus 1 times the derivative of the base, that is du over dx. Okay, so that is the derivative of power is equal to the exponent times the base raised to the exponent minus 1 times the derivative of the base. Okay? So we have special cases for the power. So what if our u is equal to x? So what will happen? So if u is equal to x, so this will be d dx x raised to n, tama? And it's equal to, of course, the s is an n times the base raised to n minus 1 times dx over dx. So this over this is equals to 1. So this will be the formula for the power formula if u is equals to x. So what if u n is equals to 1/2? So following still the formula, this will become so 1/2, copy the n. So our n will be 1/2, diba? N is 1/2 times the base u raised to 1/2 minus 1. That will be negative 1/2. Then the derivative of the base, that is du over dx. Ganun lang. So parang in-apply lang natin siya sa general power formula. Then, lastly, for the differentiation of algebraic formula, we have the derivative of radical. So this will be written as, ba? So tanan na may the square root is a radical. So that is equal to the derivative of the radicand over 2 times the radical. So that is d over dx u times 2 square root of u. Diba? That is the derivative of the radicand over 2 times the radical. Ganun lang. Okay? So let's have an example. So once again, these are the formula, basic differentiation formula for the differentiation of algebraic functions. Okay? So let's have an example. Okay, so let's solve for the derivative of the function y is equals x squared minus 2x plus 3 with respect to x. So this will be, we are to find dy over dx, tama? So this will be the derivative of y and the derivative, of course, the function of the term x squared minus 2x plus 3. So copy lang. So that is differentiating both sides. Then we proceed with the derivative of sum. Diba? Kasi aton ma-apply nga formula. The derivative of sum. So that is, we just distribute the d over dx. We differentiate each term. So this will be differentiate each term, d over dx of x squared minus 2 d over dx plus d over dx of 3. Okay lang? So, with this term, what will be the applicable formula? So, this term is, ano ito yan na term? That term is a power, di ba? Pwede na natin yan magamitan hin power formula. So, this will be, using the power formula, so copy lang. So, copy the left term, dy over, dy over dx is equals to, so the power formula says n, the n is 2, the n is 2, then the base x, then raised to n minus 1. Our n is again 2 minus 1. So that is 2 minus 1 is 1. So dire ko na susurat. Then the derivative of x. So dx over dx is 1. Tama? So okay na siya. Then minus 2 times dx over dx is, dx over dx is 1. So this will be 1 na. So 2 times 1 is 2. Plus, the derivative of constant 3 is 0. So the derivative of the function y is equals x squared minus 2x plus 3 is equal to 2x minus 2. Or, that will be, factor out, we have x minus 1. Okay, but we can stand with 2x minus 2. Okay na ito ya. So let's proceed to the next example. Derivative y is equal to x squared. Power agad. Nakakaloka mo examples ah. Direleya basic talaga. Like Mauricio. Pero pa may magreklamo nga an example masayon. Ang quiz makure. Okay, so diretso na. Again, example number 2, we have y equals to 1 minus 2x quantity squared. So this one is what kind of a function? May na ba ako viewers? Oo. Salat akon ka istorya group chat. So anyways, delayed man na niyo comment. So later ko pa ito mababasahan. This is a power. Diba? Kasi may daniya exponent. So this will be our n. So going back with our formula for the power formula, usually actually talaga pag nag-answer ako in differentiation, pag nagde-differentiate ako, I usually put the equation. I mean the formula that I need to use. So for example, we have y is equals 1 minus 2x, then raised to 2, di ba? This is a power formula at aton magagamit. So I usually put the formula d over dx times u raised to n. Diba? Then n times u n minus 1 du over dx. Always kita puput. Especially first time pala ko hindi nagde-differentiate. Diba? So, yun. I usually put it sa guide. Then, para mas maintindihan ko pa, I denote u is equals to 1 minus 2x, di ba? Then, n is equals to 2. So, nakapag-substitute na lang talaga, di ba? So, this will be dy over dx, d over dx, 1 minus 2x. Oh. So, when I differentiate, I apply this formula. So the formula says d over dx of u raised to n is equals to n times u n minus 1 du ini, du over dx. So this will be, since I know the n already, so butang ko na lang the 2, di ba? Times, I know the u, which is 1 minus 2x. Then, n minus 1 is 2 minus 1. That is 1. So, okay na. Then, du over dx. So, that will be d of dx where u is 1 minus 2x. Okay? So, ganon. Naka-detail talaga siya. Kasi, first timer I need to do it slowly but surely. Diba? So, we have dy over dx is equals to 2 times, this is bracket ito ha, 1 minus 2x and d over dx of 1 minus 2x. So, this is the derivative of sum or the difference, di ba? So, this is derivative of 1 is 0. So, 0. Minus 2 times the derivative of x. This is be 2 dx over dx. Diba? So, this will be 2, 1 minus 2x, and 0 minus 2. Okay? So, this will become negative 2 na lang, di ba? So, negative 2 times 2 is negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. 1 minus 2x. Ganun lang siya. So, this will be the final answer. Okay. So, if you are already comfortable enough and you would like to have a shortcut, it's okay naman as long as diri ka malilipat. Okay? Yun lang. The basic rule talaga for differentiation is ayaw la kalipat. Dito kasi madali kwa matira. Okay? So, next example. Marami-rami pa. So, we have y is equals 3x minus 2 and x squared minus 1. Daw, medyo masyadong malaya. minus 1. Okay, so what formula shall we use in this function? Diba? So, okay. Thank you, Sir Mark. That is a product. So, the derivative of the product at aton gagamiton. Where? Okay. So, let us first write the formula again, di ba? So, it's easier talaga to memorize if you are doing it again and again. So, if you are doing the formula again and again, you are writing the formula again and again, eventually, you will memorize it in no time. Okay? So, the formula for the derivative of the product, UV, di ba? U times V. So, di ba, ano ton una? First factor, U, times the derivative of the second factor, plus second factor times the derivative of the first factor. Ganun lang. Where our U, so we have to identify na our U is 3x minus 2. And our V is x squared minus 1. Ganun lang siya. Okay? So, let us differentiate. So, we have dy over dx is equals to d of dx, 3x minus 2, and x squared minus 1. Okay? So, let's continue with the differentiation. So, first is the first factor. Just copy the first factor, 3x minus 2. 3x minus 2, di ba? Then, we have to the differentiation of the second factor, that is x squared minus 1. Then we proceed, we add this one to the second term, x squared minus 1. Then, the derivative of the first term. Di ba nagkakabaliktaran la? First thing for the derivative of product, baliktaray. It is 3x minus 2. Diba? Okay, so actually, this is just the differentiation. Tapos nakita kung baka tutuusin, pero may dapa kita nga di ba? May dapa kita x squared minus 1, then 3x minus 2. So, let's proceed with differentiation. We have, so just copy 3x minus 2 times the derivative of x squared minus 1 with respect to x. So, what will be our formula for x squared minus 1? That is a derivative of sum. So, again, distributive property. So, we first find the derivative of x squared. So, an x squared is a power. So, again, power. An aton n is 2. Again, and our u is x. So, this will be 2x, that is 2 minus 1 is again 1. Then, dx over dx is 1. So, okay na ito, yeah. Then, minus the derivative of constant is 0. Okay? Next, plus, copy lang the second factor, x squared minus 1. And we proceed to the differentiation of 3x minus 2. So, 3x minus 2, we use the derivative of addition or subtraction. Or derivative of sum. So, that is 3x. The derivative of 3x is 3 times dx over dx, or 3. Diba? 3. So, we use this, the derivative of multiplication, as the first factor constant. Diba? So, that is the constant times the derivative of x. That is dx over dx. Okay? So, this will become 3 times 1, which is 3 na lang. Then we proceed to the derivative of constant, which is 0. Okay? So, this ends actually our differentiation. What we're going to do next is the simplification. So, syempre, always man dapat simplified ang aton answer. But if differentiation at aton gipapakanan, if calculus at ginihim mo, so this ends the calculus actually. So, what happened next is pure algebra. Thank you.
Naglubat ka?
Direct. Okay, so let's simplify. Oo. Yes, this is the effect of our a lot of administrative works. Okay, so we have, di ba, 3x minus 2 times 2x plus x squared minus 1 times 3. So what do you think should we do? We expand. Okay, so that is 3x times 2x is 6x squared, then negative 4x plus, disregard na 0, baka lang yan. Then x squared minus 1 times 3. So we have 3x squared minus 3. Okay, then simplify. Diba? Algebra. So we have 6x squared plus 3x squared is 9x squared. Then minus 4x minus 3. So can we factor out? Do we have a common? Pwede pa. Pwede ba? Okay na. That's it. So wala tayong mapafactor out. So that is our final answer. Okay? That is for number 3. Wala na ba? Tama. Negative 3 man kasi hiya. Yes. Okay. So we have an alternative solution for this one. Diba? So this in our section, we don't want kung ano tamang solution, asya talaga yung solution. No. As long as wala na yung prinsipyo na wala na yung mathematical principle na ginlalabag, it's good. Okay? So kanya-kanya kata. There are so many ways in killing a cow. Okay? So let's have an alternative solution for the derivative of y is equals 3x minus 2 and x squared minus 1. Ang hirap na control. Okay. So we have y is equals to 3x minus 2 and x squared minus 1. Okay? So we just expand first the term para later on we'll just use the derivative of sum. Okay? So how do we expand this one? We multiply this to distribute this term to this and distribute this term to this. Okay? So we have 3x times x squared is 6x squared. 6x cubed. Sorry. Then x squared minus 2 is 2x squared. Then this one, which is negative 3x plus 2. Tama? Okay, that is 3x cubed minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 2. Okay, now we proceed to the differentiation of this function. So, expanded na hiya. Therefore, we'll be using the derivative of sum. So, this will be differentiating both terms. Just copy first. So, take note that when we expanded, waray pa kita mag-differentiate. So, waray pa nga d over dx, di ba? Nag-expand pala kasi kita. Okay? So, let's proceed. We have dy over dx is equals to, differentiate this term, we have 6x cubed. Or, I could just, since constant man hiya, no, pwede ko na hiya na ibulagon. So, we have 6d over dx of x cubed minus, ang constant d hapon, d over dx of x squared minus 3 dx over dx plus d over dx of 2. Okay? So, proceed to dy over dx is equals to 6 times, this is the power formula again. So, we have 3 times x. This is our u. Then our n minus 2 or 3 minus 1, I mean n minus 1 or 3 minus 1 is 2. Then dx over dx is 1. So, this is good. Okay? Then 2 times, again, power formula, 2x. Dx over dx, 1. Okay? Then 3 times 1, 3, out. 3. Then, this is 0. Okay? Plus 0. Okay? The dy over dx equals to 6 times 3x squared minus 2 times 2x minus 3. This will be 18x squared minus 4x minus 3. Ha? Tama ba? I know. This will be. Sorry. Ha? Alam, medyo. Parang natikadugay, natikanipis na akon poon. Pen naman ano. Sorry, waray may nakapansin na akon sayop na pag-multiply han 3x times x squared. Ano ba yan? Okay? So, this is wrong, ha? Hindi pala dapat, di ba, be careful ka with this one, okay? So, this will be 3x squared. 3x times x squared is 3x squared, tama. So, we have 3x squared. So, this will be 3. 3 times 3 is 9x squared minus 4 minus 3. Okay. Oo, lagi, sorry. Kung ang kasi delayed kasi liwat, di ba? So, dire ko talaga yung makukuanda yun. X cube kanina. X squared kasi sila ako. So, gin-X cube niya. Okay. Lipat na. Takasurat liwat kasi danay. Okay, so same an ato nakuha na answer, tama? This og tama. 9x squared minus 4x minus 3. Parang natin kadugay yan, natin kanipisit akon agi. Or kasi naka-zoom ako kaduro. Duton ko nga, wait lang. Naka-zoom ako kaduro, ano? Yun, oo. Kasi, nati kadugay, nagditi ka zoom kita. So, nagdiduro-duro gihapon ito. Dapat zoom out la. Dapat ka zoom out. Amo nga rin, dapat. Amo ba? Bakit, sige ta. Pag, sige zoom, nanipis. Pag mag-zoom out ka, tama ba? Hello? Kanina talaga, manipis la. Ayan, oo, good man. Pag mag-zoom liwat, manipis pa rin. Ha? Shhh. Ito, sakad ka ko. Yun. Feeling ko okay na ya. Okay. Sorry for that. So, let's proceed to number, ano na data? Number 4. Oh, number 4 pa lang. So, mahaba-haba pa talaga. Bayang at abutan 1 p.m. So, just be ready with your lunch with you. It's fine. So, kami later pa kami magpo-food panda. Bikiniman. Bikiniman, food panda. Joke lang. Okay, that is 3x minus 1. So, what kind of a function is this one? And what is the formula that we shall use? Oo. Sige. Pero bakit naka-seconds delay? Noon ako live streaming. Uri man mag... Nawara ba ako?
Rational function siya.
Rational. Yes, that is a rational function. So, what is the formula that we will be using? Ikaw nag-answer, Direra. Third pan. Yes. Nakapansin nga nilagay ran tanan. Very good. Okay, delayed na talaga takabasa. How many seconds delayed? Wala. What is the formula that we'll be using in solving our example number 4? So given that it is a rational function, wala niya bitrate, Mark, nagka-problema.
Division rule daw, according to Xiao Eng.
Who is Xiao Eng Wang? Ah, okay, Xiao Eng
Hindi,
Wang.
siya like madam.
Yes, I know her. Is that the division rule? Kaya na din ako nakita niya comment. Okay, that's the division rule.
Or quotient.
Or the derivative of a quotient. Diba? So we have d of dx and this is u over v. Diba? So that is equal to, I usually put first the division line in the center of equals, diba? Para mas mong say pagkataon nga nag-iisog ka sa amon, ma'am. Pag di rin naman gimbubot nga ani nga division rule. So yun nasanay lang. Okay, out of practice. So, let's start first, diba? The denominator times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator over, all over, the square of the denominator. Diba? So again, our u is the numerator 2x plus 5. Our v is the denominator 3x minus 1. Okay? So that will be y is equals to, or d of dx of y. This will be d of dx of 2x plus 5 and 3x minus 1. Okay? So let's proceed with the differentiation. So we have, okay, so again, mahiwagang fraction line. So we have v. What is the v? That is the denominator, 3x minus 1 times the derivative, the numerator 2x plus 5 minus the numerator 2x plus 5 times the derivative of the denominator 3x minus 1. Then, this is divided by the square of the denominator 3x minus 1. Okay? What's happened? Okay, sige, takon zoom. So, let's do the dy over dx. So, simplify na, differentiate pa kita din ng mga values. Okay? So, copy 3x minus 1. Ano daw? Then, the derivative of 2x minus 5. Direct ako na lang ha. So derivative of 2x is 2. Tama? 2 times 1. This is 2 times dx over dx plus derivative of 5 is 0. So 2 minus 2x plus 5 times the derivative of 3x minus 1 is 3. Tama? That is the derivative of 3x or 3 times dx over dx minus the derivative of 1 is 0. So simplify, that is 3. Okay, so this will be 3x minus 1. Okay, so we are done with the differentiation. What we'll do next again is the simplification. So we have dy over dx equals to, pera. Amo ba na condensol? An aton previous one. So we have to expand, then simplify. So this will be 6x minus 2. Paki-verify ha, medyo nalilipat ako pag expansion na. This will be 6x, tama? Plus 15. Then 3x minus 1 squared. Okay? So 6x minus 6x cancelled. So what we have is negative 2. Oh no. Ang mahiwagang bracket, huwag kalilimutan. So this is tama, minus the quantity of 2x times 3 is 6x, then 3 times 15. Tama, quantity siya. So this will be, the remaining is negative 2 times, negative 2 minus 15. So this will be dy over dx is equals to negative 17 3x minus 1 squared. If I think this is a familiar function, we solve this using the delta method on the previous discussion, tama? So, same an aton result. So, this is the final answer. Diri yan nagmo-move, kundi rin zoom out anay. Oh. Okay, let's proceed to number 5. So, I think this is also a familiar function. So, y is equal to square root of 2x minus 5. So, what kind of a function is this one? This is a radical function. So when we're dealing with radical function, what is the formula that we will be using in finding the derivative of a radical function? So that is the derivative of a radical. So that will be d of dx square root of u. Tama? Which is equal to the derivative of the radicand over 2 times the radical. Okay? So let us proceed with the differentiation. Okay? So our u is of course 2x minus 5. U lang akong papakiana ha. That is 2x minus 5. Okay? So that will be d of dx of 2x minus 5. Again, u na lang siya. So that will be just the radicand 2x minus 5. Then 2 times 2x times the radical, which is 2x minus 5, diba? So dy over dx is equals to, what's the derivative of 2x minus 5? Again, that is 2 times dx over dx, which is actually equal to 1, minus the derivative of constant 5, which is equal to 0. So we'll just have 2. Okay? Then copy 2 square root of 2x minus 5. To finalize, we have 1 over square root of 2x minus 5. Okay? So this is our final answer. So as you can see, it's also a familiar problem. So if an atom delta method, we have rationalization and so on. So it is quite long. So this one, this is the shortened process. Sorry. Okay. So this one. More on substitution lang talaga halos yung ginagawa natin. As long as we have the formula. Okay? So let's proceed with next problem. Are you still good, guys? Kaya pa? Okay, so let's have 6. For some, just consider this as a review, especially those tapos na yun na topic. So at least you were reviewed and if clarified with the process. Okay. So this one, what kind of a fraction, what kind of function is this one? Yes, Miss Joanne. Sorry, parenthesis nga. Very good. Yes, what if the given is cube root? Ito na nga. 6 is equal, 6, number 6, we have y is equals cube root of 3x squared minus 1. So is it considered as a radical? Can we use the radical formula or the derivative of a radical? Anyone? Pero ka second step delayed. Pero ka second step delayed. Dako, parang nearly minute. O 10 lang. So this one, parang deleted ako ng messages. Ako live chat. Okay. So this is a cube root, diba? However, our radical formula, joke. Our radical formula is just for the square root lang. So what I here 3. So there natin hiya pwede ma-apply. But in algebra, diba? We can rewrite this one as, how should we rewrite this one? Nga dire kita magamitin square root. Diba? This is equal to quantity of 3x squared minus 1 raised to 1/3. Tama? 1/3 ano? Tama. 1/3. Okay? So, we now proceed to our power formula. Our power formula states that this will be n times the base raised to n minus 1, then the derivative of the base. Okay?
Exponential 4.
Yes, exponential 4.
Dito exponential mo. Dito power rule ito.
Oh, power rule. Ha? Ano niya kan?
Pag may power rule ng exponential nga ni, variable exponent.
Yeah. Oo. General power formula line dire ini exponential. Nagyan ako ng exponential rule kanina. Exponent kasi tira lot kasi pag-identify hinin. Pero yun, pag exponential rule, an ini is not constant. An aton n is not numbers. Parang variable gihapon hiya, which is
Ibig sabihin, exponential form.
exponential form.
Ibig sabihin, gin-transpose niya and radical
Gin-transform.
form to exponential form.
Gin-transform. Amo lagi delayed kasi. Other na kita. Sorry.
Ikuha na lang ito niya mga differential calculus. Pwede man kuha.
Ang galon ko, no? Pero di nakakaulang. Anyways, you know that this is a derivative. Paano ba yun? Okay? Yes, you can transform hiya from radical to exponential form. Yun. Okay, but we'll be using the power formula. Okay? So this is the power formula. Again, our u is the quantity 3x squared minus 1. Okay? Excited na mag-exponential. Dito ba kita mag-exponential? Logarithmic. Dito ni part of algebra? Ang logarithmic. Oo. The exponential. The reported algebra. The reported midterm.
Exponential, direct pa. Oh.
Okay. So, teaser lang ha. So, this will be our last topic before the midterm. Okay? So, our midterm will be next week. So, don't worry, we'll be having a quiz first, then the midterm exam. Okay? So, this will be the last topic. The implicit differentiation is the last topic. So, this is the last lecture for midterm. We're very sorry, midterm pa lang talaga tayo. Okay? So, I hope you can follow very well. So, anyways, for your questions, we are very open. 24/7 na po. Depende kung nakaturog pa sir or ma'am. But anyways, mag-iba man ang sleeping hours ni ma'am and sir. So, pwede siguro salitan. Don't worry. Okay? So, let's proceed with the differentiation of this function. So, ano na natin gagamiton? Okay? So, we have our n, again, is 1/3. Then, u, the base is 3x squared minus 1. Ayoko mo kalipatan aton base is 3x squared minus 1 as a whole. Okay? Then, our n is 1/3 minus 1. That is equal to negative 2/3. Then, du over dx, which is derivative of 3x squared minus 1. Okay? So, let's differentiate. Continue differentiation. Okay, so 1/3 times this is 3x squared minus 1 raised to negative 2/3 times this one. So, in this one, again, we use the combination of the derivative of a product with a constant, then the power formula, di ba? So, di ba? We will proceed with the 3 times the derivative of x squared. What's the derivative of x squared? By using power formula, we have 2x. Diba? Then, minus 0. Okay? So, since multiplication naman inin nga part, di ba? Adi lahir hagawas. So, this one, we didn't lalabtan kasi as a whole that is raised to negative 2/3. That or equal to, or that is equal to 1 over cube root of 3x squared minus 1 raised to 2. Diba? So, this will be cancelled. 1/3, 3. Diba? Kasi adalaheya hagawa. So, pwede tayo malabtan. Okay? So, this will be 2x 3x squared minus 1 negative 2/3. Ganon. Okay, so this is our final answer. Wala, maximum. Okay, so yun. Then, let's proceed to the next problem. Y is equals 3 minus x. Okay, obviously, we'll be using again the power formula. So, pasensya, parang I really need to write the formula first. Okay, so let's proceed. Our n is again 3. Oh, okay, sorry. The differentiation process. Okay, so dy over dx is equals to, the n is 3. U is 3 minus x, that is n minus 1 or 3 minus 1 is 2. Then the derivative of 3 minus x. So let's continue. This will become 3 minus x squared. Then the derivative of 3 is 0 minus the derivative of x, which is 1. Okay? So this will become dy over dx is equals to, multiply 3 times negative 1, that is negative 3, and this will be, copy na lang. Okay? Okay na? Okay, do we have an alternative solution for this one? Alternative solution. So, if di rin niyo gusto gumamit ng power formula, you can also use the derivative of sum. Sige, let's have an alternative formula for this one. Ang tagal. I mean, an alternative solution. Sorry. So, that is y is equals to 3 minus x cubed. So, again, we expand. So, this will become 3 times 3 times 3. That is 27. Then, 27x plus 9x squared minus x cubed. Okay? So, you go back with your algebra. Okay? So, let's now proceed to the differentiation. 7 minus 27x plus 9x squared minus x cubed. So, dy over dx is equals to the derivative. So, let's have the derivative by term. Okay. So we have the derivative of a constant is again 0. So this is 0 minus 27 times 1 plus 9 times derivative of x squared is again 2x minus this will be 3x squared. Okay. Okay, so let's simplify. This will be negative 27 plus 18x minus 3x squared. Then let's factor out the common term, which is 3, negative 3. So negative 27, negative 27 divided by 3, that is 9. Then negative 18x divided by negative 3, that is equal to negative 6x. Then negative 3x squared divided by negative 3, it will have x squared. Okay? But we can factor out 9 minus 6x plus x squared, di ba? It's a square of a factor. So, di ba? 9, pwede hiya, x squared. Then 3 plus 3, 6. 3 minus. Okay. Okay na? So, we have the same answer. But I prefer using this one, using the power formula. It was easier and it was short. Okay. So let's proceed to, okay, second to the last for algebraic. Number 8. So we have x is equals to t square root of a squared minus t squared. So now you are wondering, why do we have two variables, or actually three, kaya may napakita x nga di ba? So an ato ni question is actually find the derivative in terms of with respect to variable a, and find the derivative of x in terms of with respect to variable t. So duha ini naton condition. So we have dx of dA, then we have dx of dt. Diba? So let's try to find the solution. Okay, let's start with the variable with respect to variable a. So if this is variable a, our t will be constant, di ba? So this will be ang aton formula na gagamiton. So if you can remember, we have, so you can use actually the division formula, or the derivative of quotient. C over V. So that will be, so let's go back to the derivative when the numerator is constant. Actually, you can derive this one. Pero much better kung memorize mo na. This one. So we have the negative c dv over dx over v squared. Okay, nawara. So this will be negative c dv over dx over v squared. Again, our c is the t. Our v is square root of a squared minus t squared. Okay? So let's proceed with the differentiation. dA with respect to a. That is d of a, d of dA, t over square root of a squared minus t squared. Okay. So this will become dx over dA is equals to negative c, or we have negative t, times the derivative of square root of a squared minus t squared over the square of the denominator a squared minus t squared. Since we are to square a radical, so what will happen? Matatanggalan natin square. Okay. So let's continue the differentiation. So again, we are dealing with a radical. So what is the formula for a radical, or for differentiating a radical? We have the derivative of radical, that is equal to the derivative of the radicand over 2. Let's quantify it. Derivative of a radicand lang meaning ang content lang, haniya square root. Then, over 2 times the radical. Diba? So, yun na yun. Then, a squared minus b squared. Okay, let's continue. To simplify, we have negative p. What is the derivative of a squared minus t squared when t is our constant? So we'll have our formula, diba? That is 2a minus 0. Because this is constant. Bisan beto ya ano nga raise kay constant tiya 0 lagi pa na tiya. Okay? Then copy 2 over a squared minus t squared. Then copy a squared minus t squared. I hope diri malipong. I think medyo malipong natakasarap. So from this one, we can cancel out 2. Okay, let's proceed with simplification. So actually, this ends our differentiation in a process. However, again, we require a simplified answer. So this will be so this will become negative. Mali po kasi na akong presentation, pero sige lang. So ini this is when we multiply this one to this term, this will be function talaga negative TA. Okay. Then square root of a squared minus t squared over a squared minus t squared. Okay? So now mas simple na yan. So what will happen right now? So when we divide a fraction, paano natin dinigin-deal? Ako usually nagsusugod ako. Actually, asya talaga net ginihimo. Pero para lahatan makuan, actually, pwede naman yung short, ano ba ito sa'yo? Sorry. Dari na nga yan. Negative TA square root of a squared minus t squared times, di ba? Anaton, over 1 ko lang para maging fraction to fraction, di ba? When we divide fraction by a fraction, we multiply ang iya na reciprocal. That will be 1 over a squared minus t squared. Di ba siya aton basic knowledge on dividing the two fractions? Di ba? So this will be grabe man ini ka straight oy. This will be negative TA. Then what happened when we diretso ini ha. When we multiply a squared minus t squared, this quantity, and the radical of a squared minus t squared. Ba? That is 1. Kung tutuusin, may din niya didi, may din niya raised to 1. Di ba? Tapos, in iya nga radical, if ato niya exponent, if ato niya exponent, if ato niya transform into exponential form, this will be 1/2. So, 1 plus 1/2 is 3/2. Okay? Dapat ada 80. parang mas better hiya pagkitaon if ato niya baliktad ha. Negative 8. Mas mo sa naka-alphabetically arranged. But this is also correct actually. Di ba? Marang mas mo sa kasi 80 talaga. Though maram kita nga t is constant and usually constant talaga nauuna before variable, pero mas mo sila talaga actually pagkataon na negative 80. So, this is both correct. So, carry lang ito. Anyways, pag kamit magko-correct ko ito problema. Okay? So, let's proceed to the next niya ginaaraw with respect naman to variable t. In short, by the way, if makakapansin ka mo, waray na ako magbalikan iyo algebra ha. I really assume that you are coping and you have enough knowledge on your algebra. I'm very sorry. Waray na talaga ako magbalikan aton algebra lessons. Okay? So, pero sometimes, gin-orient ko man kamuhan mga guti lang pang algebra related. Okay? Okay. So, this is a detailed solution pa. So, if you can do the shortcut, you can. Provided nga, babalik-balik na niya, provided diri ka mo malilipat. Okay? So we now find the derivative of x Sana, lilipat kasi ang iya yun. Okay? So with respect naman to t, that will be our required. Okay? So that is dx over dt is equals to d of dt t a squared minus t. Okay? So what is the formula? So we'll be using the derivative of quotient. So since this is a variable and this is a variable, so may variable niya nga variable niya nga so we can say that this is we could use the derivative of quotient. Okay? So when we solve the derivative of quotient, what is the formula? That is the denominator, copy the denominator, times the derivative of the numerator minus the numerator times the derivative of the denominator. A squared minus b squared. Okay. Then all over the squared of the denominator. Again, when we square radical, since, di ba, usually raised to, if this is an exponent, di ba? Or an exponent din this is raised to, quantity raised to 1/2. When we multiply 1/2 times 2, nagiging 1. So, this is the form. Okay. So, again, copy. dt over dt is 1 minus t times, again, the derivative of a radical. Again, this will be, but this time, our a squared is the, I know, umuunta na para mas detailed. Okay? Over 2 square root of a squared minus b squared. Okay? Then, a squared minus b squared. So, we proceed. So, again, copy a squared minus t squared minus t, quantity, the derivative of a squared minus t squared. So, this time, our constant is a. Tama? So, this will be our 0. 0 na siya. Then, the derivative of negative t squared. That will be 2t. Then 2 square root of a squared minus t squared. Again, cancel. So negative times negative, that will be t squared. Then copy a squared minus t squared. So dx over dt is equals to square root of a squared minus t squared. This will be negative t times negative t is positive t squared over square root of a squared minus t squared. And a squared minus t squared. So what will happen? We have to add square root of a squared minus t squared plus t squared over square root of a squared minus t squared. So what do we do with this? What do we usually do? Pagsagad. We find the least common denominator. Okay. So we need a common denominator, a squared minus t squared. Ang pangit. Sorry. Square root of a squared minus t squared. So, square root of a squared minus t squared divided by 1 times a squared minus t squared is a squared minus t squared. Diba? Aton man again. Then, proceed with copy na lang t squared. Okay? That is a squared minus t squared divided by square root of a squared minus t squared times t squared, same, t squared. Okay, nakahabol. Okay? So again, ging-copy ko na lang ang denominator. So we simplify the numerator, di nga pinaka-numerator. So we cancel negative t squared plus t squared. Tama? Okay. So same man kanina. So this is numerator dividing a fraction. Dividing fractions. So this will be a squared minus t squared raised to 3 halves. Okay? So this is again square root of raised to 1 half. Then this is raised to 1. So yun. Okay? So this will be our dx over dt. Okay? Okay. So let's proceed to number 9. So we are to find the derivative of the function f(x) is equals to 2x raised to 4 minus square root of x squared minus 1 plus 2 over x cubed. In terms of, with respect to x. Okay? So this will be d of dx of f of x is equals to d of dx, copy lang, x squared minus 1 plus 2 over x cubed. Okay? So, what again, we will be using the derivative of sum. Diba? We find the derivative of each term. So, this one, we can use the form yun. F prime of x. Para maiba naman. So, so we can proceed by differentiating each term. D of dx. Kaya pa ba ng ating mga sikmura? Sir Mark? Kaya pa ba ng ating mga sikmura? Okay, so, kumaon actually. Nag-breakfast ako. Okay. So, sana oil. So, let's proceed the differentiation, di ba? So, again, this is power formula. Power formula lang talaga siya. So, 2 times, sige, quantity kita, bahin kita malipat. 4, then x cubed, di ba? That is n minus 1 cubed, then dx over dx, which is actually equal to 1. So, okay na. Then, we have the formula for radicand. Radical. That is d of x squared minus 1 over 2 square root of x squared minus 1 plus derivative of quotient with a constant numerator. That is negative of the constant times the derivative of the numerator x cubed over the square, so x cubed raised to 2. So let's simplify. Okay, simplify. Ini dire pa tapos ha, mintras may dapat d over dx dire pa tapos atong differentiation. This will be 8x cubed minus d the derivative of x squared minus 1 is 2x. This is, again, the power formula on x squared. Then, minus 1 is 0. So, we have 2. Then, copy na lang ade. X squared minus 1. Again, cancel ade. Okay? Plus, titila ka taba. Hindi ka malipat. Negative 2 times the derivative of x cubed is 3x squared. Then, dx over dx is actually equal to 1. Then, x cubed times x cubed is x raised to 6. So, we have 8x cubed minus x over square root of x squared minus 1 plus, or actually negative kasi kakagawsan. So this will be negative x cancel, negative 6 cancel kasi ang x squared din. So this will become, okay? So that is our final answer. Ganun lang siya. Okay, so let's proceed to higher order derivatives. Yeah, I would love to have this kind of rainbow pen. Higher order derivatives pa lang. This is for 5 examples pa. Nako! So, in higher order derivatives, i-higher order lang natin siya. We'll have, how to write this one? So, in higher degree functions, the first derivative of y with respect to x equal to its slope is a function of x, diba? Problems which involve determining the derivative of the slope with respect to x is called the second derivative of y with respect to x. This is written. So actually, in here is the derivative. This is just the derivative, diba? Han derivative or the derivative of y with respect to x, or should be written as ganyan, or y, baba ka. Ganun lang. Di relative hindi nila na-stop. Pwede pa ito niya mag-third order or the third derivative. So that is the derivative of d squared y over d. So, ang derivative, pag derivative mo pa, so nagiging higher order derivative na ito, haya. So, yun. Okay? So, pwede ba tiya fourth, and so on and so forth. Okay? So, let's try to solve. So, we'll be using the simple lagi hapon na mga formulas. Okay? So, number 1. Solve for the second derivative of the function. So, we are asked to happen. Okay. Given the function y is equals to 4x quantity 4x minus 3 squared, we are to find the derivative, the second derivative. Okay. So in finding the second derivative first, we'll first find the first derivative. Mag-skip kita dayon, di ba? So we have, copy lang muna. Okay? So this is an exponential form. In exponential form, di ba? So, we'll be using the power formula. Okay? So, again, our n is 2. Our u is 4x minus 3. N minus 1 is 2 minus 1 is 1. So, okay lang. Hindi ko na siya write down. Then, we have the derivative of the u, which is 4x minus 3. Okay? So, we have dy over dx is equals to 2 times 4x minus 3. Then, the derivative of 4x minus 3 is 4. Kasi we have the derivative of 4x minus derivative of 3. Again, the derivative of constant is 0. So, this will be 4 dx over dx, or 4. So, let's proceed to simplification. So, this will become 8 4x minus 3. Okay, so let's now proceed to the second derivative. So we have, so again, i-derivative lang natin ang derivative na, which is 4x. Okay, this one. So what will be the formula? Again, 8. Gawas lang yan 8. This is the constant. Then derivative han aton x. Derivative han aton second factor, which is 4x minus 3. So we used actually the derivative of product when the first factor is a constant. Okay? So let's proceed. That is 8. D of dx. So what is the derivative of 4x minus 3? Again, that is 4. Okay? That is derivative of 4x is 4. That's 4 times dx over dx minus the derivative of 3 is 0. Okay? Which is the second derivative of 4x minus 3 squared is, sorry, wait a minute. 8 times 4, 32. This is the final answer, 32. This is, kaya natin yung bibiling, second derivative. Let's proceed para matapos. Okay, so we are to find the second derivative. Second ba? Actually, third derivative. We are to find the third derivative of this function, 4x, y is equals to 4x cubed minus x squared over 2 plus 3 halves. Okay? So we first find the first derivative, or the dy over dx. Okay. So that is, we use the derivative of sum. So that means we have to find the derivative of each term. Okay? So this will become 4. So I usually pag magkadikit ang variable, then may the constant, gigagawa ko na constant, then derivative nato na nato. So that came from the concept of the derivative product with the first factor as a constant. Ba? Ha? Noted? Bakit? Nagkakawara-wara mo nga di ako, hindi rin ako loading.
Nawala na?
Sige, load. I don't know kung may Shucks, oo ba? Naka-close nga. Kailan ka pa to na-close? Alright. So anyway, so just watch na lang how it was done. Sorry. I'm very sorry with that. Okay? Sorry for the audio. Nga. Tapos delayed na pagod no. Tron ko ha. Din kaya nag-stop anuray audio. Di nag-stop anuray audio. Oh, feeling ko naka-on ko yan na X an audio. Hello, when did we stop without the audio? Saan tayo nag-stop?
Before nag-start ang number 2.
Before nag-start ang number 2? Okay. Okay. So, noted. So, I'll just read na lang ha. So, we have the function y is equals 4x cubed. 4x cubed minus x squared over 2 plus 3 over 2. Diba? So, we first find the first derivative. So, that is dy over dx is equals to d of dx of the function 4x cubed minus x squared over 2 plus 3 halves. So, we differentiate each term. So, we first begin with this one. So, if this is from the principle of the derivative of product when the first factor is a constant, di ba? So, we have 4 times the derivative of the second factor x cubed, di ba? Then, so, and 1/2 is actually taken from this naka over 2, di ba? This is actually equal to 1/2 times x squared. So, 1/2 is a constant, so I gingawas ko latia. Okay? Then, d of dx and x squared. Then, the derivative of the constant. Okay? So, we proceeded to differentiation, and this came out with 4 copy times the derivative of x cubed using the general power formula, that is 3x squared. Then, copy the 1/2 and the derivative of x squared, that is 2x plus, of course, 0. So, simplify, we have the first derivative is 12x squared minus 1. So, we proceed to the second derivative, that is the derivative of 12x squared minus x. So, again, differentiate each term, we have 12 times the derivative of x squared, that is minus the derivative of x. So, we have 12 times the derivative of x squared, which is 2x, then minus 1. Okay? So, we have the second derivative, 24x minus 1. So, to get the third derivative, we just find the derivative of the second derivative. So, that is the derivative of 24x minus 1. So, obviously, we differentiate each term, and we came up with 24. Kasi nga, 24 times dx over dx minus 0. So, 24 times 1 minus 0 is actually 24. Okay? So, let's proceed with the next function. Sorry for that. So, this is mahaba-habang function. Again, we are required to find the third derivative of the function y is equals to 8x 8x raised to 5 plus 3x over 2 minus 4x cubed plus x squared minus 3x plus 5. So, hindi naman siya masyadong mahaba. Okay? So, we have to find the first derivative first. Oh, sorry. So, differentiate the whole term, the whole expression. So, we now proceed to differentiating each term, ba? So, again, ini nga combination, gawas lang naton ang aton constant, then proceed with the differentiation of x raised to 5 plus, again, 3 halves sa constant, gawas lagi hapon, dx and x raised to 4 minus 4 d over dx x cubed plus d over dx and x squared minus 3 dx over dx plus 0 na lang, direkta. Okay? So, dy over dx is equals to 8 times our formula. This will be 5x raised to 4. Okay? Plus 3 halves. This will be 4x cubed. Then 4, this will be 3x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay? So, simplify. Y prime is equals to 40 x raised to 4 plus cancel, di ba? May daniya pa nga din nasa salin na lang ato. Ano ba? Eight. Ano ba? 8 times 5 x raised to 4 plus 3 times 2, that will be 6x cubed minus 12 x squared plus 2x minus 3. So let's now find the second derivative. So d is equals to d of dx of 40x raised to 4 plus 6x cubed minus 12x squared plus 2x minus 3. Okay, so this will be, so we differentiate each term again, 40 x raised to 4. Paulit-ulit na lang, no? Pero this is really the way how to. So, diba? Constant practice is the only solution for perfection. Okay? So, this is 0. So, y double prime is equals to 40 times 4x cubed plus 6. Derivative of x cubed is 3x squared minus 12 times derivative of x squared is, again, 2x plus 2, that is 2 times 1, minus 0. So simplify, we have 40 times 4 plus 6 times 3 is 18x squared minus 24x plus 2 of course. Okay? So this is our second derivative. So we're now down to our third derivative. So this will be d of dx of our y double prime. So we'll say 160x plus 18x squared minus 24x plus 2. Okay? So again, we differentiate each term. So that is 160 d over dx of x cubed plus 18 d over dx of x squared minus 24 dx over dx plus d over dx of 2. So this will be our y triple prime is, or our third derivative is equal to 160 times, that is 3x squared plus 18 times 2x minus 24. This is 0 kasi. So simplifying, 160 times 3 is 480 x squared plus 18 times 2 is 32. Oh no, 30. This is 36. Naglalag na siya kasi ang dami na nating naisulat. Minus 24. Okay? So you can actually factor out, so it's up to you. But this is our final answer. Oh. This is our final answer. Okay? So let's proceed to the next number. Okay. So, edi medyo mapapaisip tayo ng konti. Number 4. Y is equals to 3ax cubed minus 2bx squared plus 8c. Y all prime. We are asked to find the second derivative. So, that is the dy over dx, so meaning in terms of x. So, we are to find the function y is equal to 3ax cubed minus 2bx squared plus 8c in terms of x. So, what will we do? So, looking at the function, so obviously we'll be using the derivative of sum. So, meaning we have to define the derivative in each term. Diba? Tagsa, tagsa. However, daw manining ang mga letters. So, again, the rule says, ang tanan nga mga letters nga labot lahan y ngayon x is constant. Diba? So, proceed with the first derivative. Okay? So, dy over dx equals to Derivative of this term. Oh. So again, may constant na favorite. Gawas and constant. Constant is 3a. Then the derivative of x cubed minus, again, gawas and constant, and 2b. Then the derivative of x squared plus the derivative of 8c equals algebra. Okay, yun na yun. Okay? So, dy over dx is equals to 3a. Derivative of x cubed is 3 times x squared minus 2b. The derivative of this one is 2x plus, this is constant. Kasi natin 8c, wala na hiya x or whatever variable aside from y and x. That is 0. Okay? Then we proceed with the simplification. So 3 times 3, 9a x squared minus 4bx. This is our first derivative. So we are now to find the second derivative. So d of dy over d. So d of dx of 9ax squared minus 4bx. Okay? So we can write this as the rest of the meaning. Okay? So again, find the derivative of each term. 9a again is constant, so gawas. Then the derivative of x squared, okay, minus 4b, then dx over dx. Okay, so we have y double prime is 9a times 2x minus 4b, since it's equal to 1, diba? So simplifying, we have 9 times 2 is 18, ax minus 4b. This is our final answer. Okay, 9 okay, 18ax minus 4b. So while it is very good, para ako kasi very good here kung sa kanina nga klase in functions at ato ni deal in higher order derivatives. So what if we are to deal with radical, di ba? Ini kasi kung napansin niyo, while nati kahit taasan iya derivative, iya order, iya derivative, nati kagutian iya answer, nati kahalipot, di ba? From halaba to halipot. How about mga radicals? Radicals, baliktad it effect. Diba? Kung ang kasi kontrolin ni algebraic expression or function, labot ng radicals, nati kahalipot ya, di ba? Kung third, fourth derivative na, nati kahalipot. Nati ka constant na ngalat answer. Pero pag radical, na pag radical, higher order mo nga ni, let's see, let's have one radical problem in a higher order. So, di ba? So, pag niya kalipot, this is 4x squared minus 1. Okay? So, we are to find the second derivative. Ay, salamat. Second derivative lang. Okay? Second derivative. So, dy over dx is equals to the derivative of square root of 4x squared minus 1. Again, what is the formula for the derivative of a radical? So that is square root of u. So that is du over dx to square root of u. Ba? Siya that iya formula. Okay? So let us apply it in this one. So dy over dx is equal to, our u again is 4x squared minus 1. So this will be the derivative of 4x squared minus 1 over 2 times the radical. Okay? So dy over dx is equal to, what is the derivative of 4x squared minus 1? That is 4 times the derivative of nakakaloka. That is 4 times the derivative of x squared minus 0. So 2 square root of 4x squared minus 1. So dy over dx is equal to 4 times the derivative of x squared is 4 times 2x. This is 4x squared minus 1. Okay? So this is equal to okay. So this is equal to 8x over, what will happen? Naglalag na. Naglalag na ang aking, siguro damo na kasi iyan nakasurat. Naglalag na si Microsoft Whiteboard. So this one will become, cancel ang 2. This will become 4x over square root of 4x squared minus 1. Pag may magyakan na ako na, ma'am, cancel ang 4. Basta good, magkikirig-tagod kita. So, dirito pwede cancel nga 4. Okay, so we now proceed to the second derivative. So, this is our first derivative. Pa? Oo, hindi ako nainom. So, we have to find the derivative of dy over dx, or the what happened? Nagwasak. I-click clear all ko na daw lang muna. I know. Sayang. Nakakaloka. So, wait lang ha. Naglalag na ang aking Microsoft Whiteboard.
Ano ka na mga program?
No, wala na talaga ako open. Wala na akong Word. Diba?
Naglalaro yun.
Kasi masyado na yung kadamo.
I-clear lang ni madam. Or pag himuin another, di i-back tapos.
Bisan nga ni pagbabakin, nag-declare, nagkukuha niya, naglalag. Ganon. Sorry for that. Gumawa na lang tayo ng bago. Okay, so nasaan na? Okay. Oh, I hope makakahabol pa rin na. So this Filipino, wala na.
Gumawa na lang tayo ng bago.
Ano? Nawaraan ko ang first derivative. So, sige na daw wala. Pero adto, the derivative of, what was that? 4x over square root of 4x squared minus 1. Wow, memorize ko. Tama ba? Tama. So, let's proceed again. So, this time, di rin na kita ma-proceed na radical, ba diba? Kasi, we have variable here na naka-fraction. So, this is, di ba, mas madugay na. Gumagamit na kitahan, derivative of quotient. So, what was again the formula for derivative of quotient? Is gan ako, diretadong ito akong divisor. Ganun pa rin. Wag na lang. Oh,
Main division line.
yun. The division line is so pababa, taas. Naku, ayoko na. Okay, so again, in the derivative of quotient, we always start with the denominator. Diba? Denominator first. Copy the denominator. 4x squared minus 1. The over square root ha. Tanan nito nga denominator. Then the derivative of the numerator for x minus. Ayun. Minus. The numerator naman. Then the derivative of the denominator. Then we squared the denominator. Okay? Ano ba yan? Okay. So, copy 4x squared minus 1. Then, the derivative of 4x is 4. Minus, copy the 4x. And derivative of 4x squared minus 1. OMG, ada na naman kita. But, we have, di ba, kanina, the derivative of 4x squared minus 1 is, tan-tadadan. Sige na lang, outronta na lang. 4x over square root of 4x squared minus 1. Di o. Yeah, lagi kay sayangan oras. Di ba tama? 4x squared minus 1. Okay. It's 4x over 4x squared minus 1. Oops. Alright. Then, again, ang aton nga ni square root. Pag aton nga again square, nagiging, yan, natatanggalan aton square root. So, yes, naka-cancel out. Okay? So, pantalalaan na eh. O, nawara na din main line. Okay? 4x. So, this will be 1 over square root of 4x squared minus 1. Then, 4x squared minus 1. So, ano natin mo on? So, ini di rin na yung calculus na part. This is algebra. Simplification is always algebra. So, what happens? Aton hiya bibilangan least common denominator. So, this one, wala kita choice. Sa lahat of denominator, 4x squared minus 1 la iton. Square root of 4x squared minus 1. What we will do, ato na nito transform into fraction, tanan. Okay? So, 4x squared minus 1 over 1. Over 1 man ito dada. 4x squared minus 1 divided by 1 is, square root of 4x squared minus 1 divided by 1 is square root of 4x squared minus 1 times 4 times 4x squared, 4 times square root of 4x squared minus 1. That is 4 times 4x squared minus, okay, minus 1. Because, di ba? Okay, because, di ba, square root of 4x squared divided by square root of 4x squared is 1 times 1, that is 1. Okay? Then copy the denominator, 4x squared minus 1. Okay? So this is the numerator now, denominator, denominator. So what happens? Again, using with the principle of dividing fractions. So this will be 4 times 4x squared minus 1 is equal to, over 4x squared minus 1, 3/2. Okay, so may isa-simplify pa ba niya? May da pa? Ay, hala, joke. Paano ako bakit ako nag-cancel? Sorry. May da ba nga na nakapansin? Marami nakapansin. Kasi naka-deobus. Okay, di rin niya cancelable. Sorry, I'm very sorry with this one. Reconcilable ha? 4x times 4x. Gutom na si mom. Saka di kasi ubus kita This is what happened when the remopen ka present and answer. Diba? Nalilipat kita. With in fact, para siya numerator. Diba? Ano pag yung cancel?
Ang solution.
Ano ba yan? Tapos, di pa nga na-shot ka times squared kasi mo.
Squared.
Wari nga ni pa umbot. Oo. Ano akong message kasi, akong chat delayed. Dira ako marami kumita. Okay? So, this is 16x squared, yes. Marami nang bubog, oh. Ganun pa rin. 16x squared lang talaga. Asya lang ang babag, oh. Okay? Ayan. Wala lagi may nag-chat na lipat gyapera. Hasta presentation, di ba? Parang ano, bagahin businessman, kaya makahingkayat. Okay, ganun. So again, mas-simplify pa ba? Mas-simplify pa. Yes, mas-simplify pa. Expand nato na din. Expand ta din. This will be 16x squared minus 4. O, pag-times. Upaya mong pag-times. Nalilipat kita. 16x squared over 4x squared minus 1, 3/2. Diba? Simplified further. 16x squared minus 16x squared cancel out. So this will be negative 4 over what happened?
Oh, nawala din naman ako internet ko.
Actually, nag-log ako na akong laptop.
Nag-lag?
Oo. Nag-log talaga na ako laptop. Oh, joke ka din na din. Oh, I was a bit... So, may problema talaga na akong laptop. Oo. Waray man, ana akong message, ana akong chat, waray man may chat nga bago. Grabe, delayed talaga akong tsaka akong comment, akong live chat. Sige lang. So anyways, yun, ha? So, yun, that's what happened talaga pag mali pang prepare itatong presentation. Okay? This is 16x squared minus 4 minus 16x squared. So, cancel out. We have negative 4 over 4x squared minus 1 quantity raised to 3/2. So, this is our final answer. Okay, negative 4. Or you can write the negative aton main divisor line. Square root of, oh, sorry, 4x squared minus 1, 3 half. O, diba? Ang aton square root of 4x squared minus 1 lang, ano nang nangyari? Mas iba ang approach. So, yun. Okay? So, this will be, this is the second derivative of the square root of 4x squared minus 1. So, let's proceed now to the implicit differentiation. So, what is an implicit function first? Or an implicit equation? Hindi pa ako actually nga di mga marami-rami pa. Okay. Ano yan? Let's proceed to implicit differentiation. So, actually, you can try higher order derivatives for fractions. And, yun, for fractions. Okay. So, let's proceed to the implicit differentiation. So, how can you say if an equation is implicit? So, there are function, or there are equation wait, title muna. Implicit differentiation. Okay? So how can you say if an equation is an implicit equation? So if it has the variable is x, y. Okay? It is represented by f of x, y is equals to 0. These are the implicit equations. Okay? So example for that is so we have siguro nala 2 y squared minus y plus 4x squared minus x equals to 0. Diba? Ganon, mga suga dito. May dana niya duha nga y, nga duha nga x, mga suga dito. Okay? So, di rin natin yung makakuha usala. Di natin yung magbutang lain. Di lang nga, di lang left side and y, then right side and puros mga x and variable. No. Pag daramo na niya y, ang damo na pa niya x, that is an implicit equations. Okay? 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 So, let's try to have an example. Sample. Number 1. So, wag na tayo masyadong pag dinamo. So, we only have 3 examples for this. Okay? So, we have x squared plus 2y squared minus 3x minus 4y plus 2 is equals to 0. So, napihimuon kay since may daman hiya iton. First is, syempre, we differentiate each term. Okay? Each term. So, d of dx of x squared plus d of dx and 2y squared minus d dx of 3x minus d of dx of 4y plus d of dx of 2 is equals to 0. Diba? So then we proceed to this one. So this will be 2x dx over dx. Tama? Then, this one, may daya constant. So that will be 2 d over dx of y squared minus 3 dx over dx minus 4 dy over dx plus 0. It's to 0. Oh, d over dx and the of 0. Okay. So this is 1. Cancel natin. That is 2x plus 2 times the derivative of y squared. That is 2y dy over dx minus 3. 1 man na di. Minus 4, copy lang, dy over dx plus 0. Okay lang yan. Tanggalin na natin ang 0. Okay? So, kung mapansin niyo, we have duha ka dy over dx. So, we factor out that 1 dy over dx, factor out. So, ang masasalin is, we have 4y, 2 times 2, that is 4y, minus 4, diba? Equals to, transpose natin na din, that we have this terms, transpose this one. 2x, negative 3 is positive. Okay? So, therefore, our dy over dx is equal to negative 2x plus 3 over 4y minus 4. Okay? That is our final answer. Diba? Madali man lang ayan. Diba? Okay? Yun na yun. Let's proceed to example number 2. Okay. Number 2. We have y squared x plus 2y equals to C3. We are required to find the first derivative only. Okay, so what is our first step? Differentiate each term. Differentiate each side. And yeah, adi nga side, then adi nga side. Okay? Okay? So, again, C is our constant. Kasi dapat aton lain in variables is y and x. Okay? So, this is, para siya may variable, this is multiplication or the derivative of a product. So, let's proceed. We have y squared times the derivative of x plus 2y plus x plus 2y, quantity, diba? Times the derivative of y squared. The first term, second term. Is equals to 0. So we have y squared. The derivative of x plus, so distribute lang natin, pero this time answer na ha. Answer na agad-agad. So we have 1 plus 2y is 2 dy over dx. So, the principle is, pag may dakaw makitaan nga dy over dx, or maka-answer ka man dy over dx, just write it out. Okay? Plus x plus 2y times Again, may dakita 2y and dy over dx. So, I understand if at first malipat inihiya kay ko nasanay kita nga didhan aton first aton basic differentiation na takakausala kita mag-start hinin tapos always lapagod left side. So, ay pag mag-try ka man implicit differentiation, medyo malipat talaga at first. Okay? So, again, constant practice is the key. Okay. So, proceed with our differentiation. Actually, we're almost done with the differentiation. So, we will proceed with the simplification. Okay? Cursor. Naglag. Yun. Okay. Ah. So, let us, before we factor out our dy over dx, medyo masarang pa hiya. So, aton hiya i-expand pa. Or, distribute the y squared, then adi hiya distribute. Okay? So, we have y squared plus 2y squared dy over dx plus 2xy dy over dx plus 4y squared dy over x. Okay? This equals to 0. So, pag sugad na ito niya, itsura, pwede na kita makag-factor out ang aton dy over dx. So, dy over dx, maeda kita 2y squared, then plus 2xy plus 4y squared. Then, transpose na natin y squared, negative y squared. Okay, then we can now have our dy over dx. That is cross multiplication. Or if we divide this whole equation by 2y squared plus 2xy plus 4y squared, we will have 1. So, by the way, 2y squared plus 4y squared is 6y squared. Diretso na lang natin na. This will be 6y squared plus 2xy. Or, feeling ko baliktad. Or, pwede ni baliktaron. It's up to you, actually. So, we have negative y squared, 2xy, pangit ng x, 2xy plus 6y squared. Or we can factor out our y nga datong denominator. So, that is, factor out 2 gihapon, 2y. So, may dakita, x plus 3y. Diba? So, cancel adi. We'll be having negative y, 2x plus 3y. This is our final answer, the simplified. Okay, so let's now have our final example. O, diba? Mababa tayo ng 1 p.m. Sakto-sakto talaga estimate. Very good estimate. Okay, number 3. So, I hope you already had grabbed your lunch, everyone. X squared plus y squared is equals to a squared. We are required to find the second derivative. Okay? So, Yun. Ito siya, ha? So, remember this equation. So, again, our a squared is constant. So, let's differentiate. So, d of dx over x squared plus y squared. Oh, d over dx time quantity x squared plus y squared is equals to d of dx of a squared. So, find the derivative of each term. So, we have d of dx of x squared plus d of dx of y squared is equals to 0. This is constant. So, we have 2x, dx over dx, so 1, okay lang siya. Then, we have 2y. Again, pag may dy over dx retained, equals to 0. So, we have dy over dx is equals to negative 2x over 2y. Dinala negative. So, yun. Okay? So, cancel. We have y prime is x over y, which is negative. Okay? So, now, let's proceed with the second derivative. Zoom ko lang para alam pa rin natin ang ating first derivative. So, the derivative of negative x. Okay? So, we'll be using the derivative of quotient. So, for derivative of quotient, of course, y. Una yung denominator again. D of dx of negative x minus negative x d of dx of y and the squared and aton denominator. Okay. So y double prime is equal to this is actually equal to y or negative y. Tama? This is negative y minus minus x of dy over dx minus x. Yung positive naton, pero we'll just have the positive, di ba? Positive x na lang natin. Then we have dy over dx. However, our dy over dx is equal to negative x over y. So, negative x over y. Then, y squared. Okay. Lipat na ako ng mga minus. Wait lang, ha? Tama ba? Y, negative y, plus negative x over y. Okay, we can actually, pwede natin na butang didi, pero mamaminus kita nga di. Nakuha. Later na lang. TS istaan na eh. Well, actually nga, pwede kita para kakabukusan na yan natin minus y nga di, pero negative na yan nga di. Diba? Ato niya again factor natin minus actually. Okay?
Diri, may negative pa siya
Pwede. Dira mo lagap na negative
Multiply mo
lagap.
negative na x. Magiging negative y minus x squared.
Iba kasi. Actually, amo lagi hap. May dalaga po niya. Pero sige, like, stay assist na laan ay para dira malipong. Negative y.
Plus. Hindi
Oo.
plus na.
May negative man nga diyan, no? So, pwede. Pero mas iguan talaanay. Simplify. Naglipong na ako, actually. This is, pira na yun, yung negative x squared, tama? Dirte maka-cancel. Dirte nagka-cancel. People. Okay. So, this is x, ini yung negative x squared, di ba? So, para sila negative, pwede tayo igawas, then pwede kita mag-y plus x squared over y. Amo na, sir? Yes, that's it. Okay. So, iguanta na ay list common denominator. So, y. Kailangan nga pa niya nga din y. So, again, atong na ayusin aton signs. So, this is negative y, diba? Plus, this is negative x squared over y. However, pwede tainin sa garon. Minus ka nga da. Negative y minus x squared over y squared. So, pwede tagihapon. Ayun sa talan orientation na natin signage. Gawas nato negative. So, magiging y plus x squared over y, then y squared. Diba? So, let's now proceed to list common denominator. Y over 1 is y. Times y, dinging y squared. Plus, copy na lang. Para makasi kita may ginvaluehan aton koan. Okay? Over y squared. So, note that our x squared plus y squared or y squared plus x squared is actually equal to x squared plus y squared is actually equal to a squared. So, y squared is equals to negative of a squared over y squared. So, ano mananabuhinin? This will be a squared over y. Paano na tanong ito? Cube, tama. That is 2 plus 1. O, sige na, pakita ko na iyo kung paano. This is times. Diba? So, that is a squared. Negative ba? A squared 1 over y squared. So, this is our final answer. Okay na? Claro? Sorry, malipat ang orientation talaga ng mga negative signs. Okay? So that's it for our lesson for today. So you will be having additional 3 practice exercises. So kailan kaya ang ating quiz, Sir Mark?
Monday.
Oh, we'll have our quiz on Monday agad-agad. So, kaya? 1 day preparation. So, Saturday na yan.
Thursday na na.
Quiz?
Thursday era quiz, tas next Saturday era exam.
Yan nga Monday, warin na gata?
Ha?
Yan nga Monday.
Ano?
Monday, warin na
Monday
gata.
na.
So break time. Okay, so for your preparation, so you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday for the preparation, or tomorrow if willing ka mo mag-answer. So you have 4 days preparation for your quiz. Your quiz will be on Thursday. So it will be in Google form and hopefully multiple choice. Hopefully lang. We'll see if we can make it a multiple choice type of exam. But we'll be having your solution. Kasi in calculus, it is very important that you know the solution, that you know how to solve. Okay? You know what you're doing. Nawawala talaga na akong stream. Okay, so that ends our discussion for today. So again, quiz on Thursday and midterm exam on Friday. Saturday. Okay? So I hope it is good for you. By the way, it is timed exams, both quiz and our midterm exam. Okay?
Hindi naka-float din po. Oo siya.
Kaya
Sige yan.
delay kasi. Okay, so yun lang yun. So any questions will be willingly entertained in our chat box. So if you have questions, mas mabuti if sa general GC talaga, wag PM kasi if ever may same question ka mo with your classmates, so it will be catered simultaneously, di ba? Okay? I hope you have learned in this discussion. So I'm very sorry we're late na. So it's already 1 p.m. I hope you already had your lunch, everyone. Well, God bless and good luck on your quiz.